He's VB and he lives in Perth, making super videos for all his worth. His channel is great, he's a good mate with Beryl, a feral southern hag.
G'day beer lovers, it's your old mate again here, VB Ed. G'day beer lovers. Hey, here in Australia the subject of immunisation has just blown up in a big way. It's becoming a big issue over here. And the subject of immunisation hits a lot of raw nerves with people. Have you noticed? People get very defensive in regards to expressing their stance. Now, if you haven't heard the news, the Australian government has announced that they will withhold welfare payments to parents who have not immunised their children. Yeah. Apparently, you need 85% of the population to be covered, to be immunised from certain serious childhood diseases to be in a position to say that it doesn't pose any threat. But apparently, over the last few years, or I don't know, it could be last decade, the participation rate has dropped. And it's dropped to a level now where certain childhood diseases are starting to show up again. Like the other day, there was a poor baby that died of whooping cough. And apparently, I think you've got to have the whooping cough vaccination when you're 9 months old, and the baby was too young to receive the vaccination, but she died of whooping cough, which means that whooping cough is back circulating amongst the population here. You know, like, I think that immunisation is a generational thing, if you know what I mean. Like, I was born in the 1960s and nearly everyone got vaccinated, from polio, what else was there, measles, chicken pox, whooping cough. The girls had to be vaccinated with rubella, which I think is German measles. I think there were a few others as well. So the younger people these days are living in a disease-free environment when they're a child because of my generation. Because of the sacrifices my generation did by being vaccinated, and we made it safe for you guys. You know, when I was a kid, I remember seeing people who had contracted polio, and because back in the 1950s there was some real bad polio outbreaks, and I remember as a kid I used to see these people in these iron lungs keeping them alive, all as a result of polio. There was even a woman that lived in my street that she walked with a very bad limp, you know, real embarrassing type of limp. And I asked my mum one day, well, what's wrong with her? My mum said, oh, she suffered from polio when she was a child, you know. But over the last few decades, people have started to question the safety of vaccination. You know, a lot of people believe that vaccinations cause autism. You know, somehow that's got out into the community, and, you know, some people think that might be a possibility. But there's also a lot of people out there that are spreading a lot of fear without being based on any scientific facts. And I think that's getting into our heads a bit. You know, to me, it's a no-brainer. We need to immunise our children for the better good of society. You know, at the end of the day, who are you going to believe and trust about this matter? Are you going to believe Nobel Prize winning scientists? Or are you going to believe conspiracy theorists who believe that the New World Order wants to kill us and give us all cancer? Okay, so which, you know, who are you going to listen to? You know, unfortunately, in this area called immunisation, there is no middle ground that's going to keep everyone happy. You know, for immunisation to be effective, you have to do everyone. You can't give people a choice, you know, in regards to they want to be vaccinated or not. And I think that, you know, what the Australian government's doing, which is withholding welfare payments from parents to force them to immunise their children, is probably the most effective, painless way to enforce it. You know, you don't want to get to the stage where you're breaking into houses and holding kids down and jabbing them and they're all screaming. No, I think the welfare payment idea, well, I think it's the best idea. Hey, I better tell you that when it comes to vaccination, I'm the world's biggest fucking hypocrite. I'll tell you why. I do not like the flu vaccination. Okay, every time I have it, it makes me sick, you know. I get sick and tired of the propaganda put out by the government every year. Like, you know, someone comes out, like the health minister will say that the World Health Organisation is predicting a very bad flu year, influenza year. And so you better go out and get your vaccinations now. You know, we all go off in fear to get vaccinated. You know, I fucking hate that, okay? So maybe that's the common ground that we need to search for. You know, maybe all the childhood diseases, all the serious ones, compulsory vaccination, but other viruses and diseases make it optional. Now, I know this area is going to be very political, and I'm very interested to read your views in regards to this subject. Okay, catch you guys, see ya.